Chapter 302, Seagod Descent. TL by Bagelson. Even though Tang San had already fought a series of battles with Chen Rinchu before, this was still the first time he felt in danger of dying. Spirit Master's senses were sharper than ordinary people, let alone a power like Tang San. The Seagod trident he held shivered from the threat behind him, showing just how overpowering the attack was. The 3-kilometer distance was crossed in a split second. Tang San only felt everything around him turn pure gold, as if the earth was burning. This was at a 1,500-kilometer depth. Tang San was shaken. This was the first time he felt just how terrifying God-level strength was. He quickly curled up his whole body, and at the same time completely contained all the energy from the 8 blue silver emperor spirit ring detonation within him. The next moment, Tang San only felt scorching heat assault him from all directions. That terrifying head made his body seem like it was melting. The spirit power within him boiled, all the energy from the ring detonation surging, fusing together with the energy of his body. Tang San had no choice but to detonate 8 spirit rings at the same time, but without a doubt, like this he had reached the peak condition he could. All that energy frantically poured into the Seagod trident, and the black polearm revealed its might as the Seagod's divine weapon. It was completely covered in a golden blue color, with deeply blue light erupting from the Seagod's heart at the center of the Seagod trident's main blade. The vast sea-mad wave Tang San released fused together with it. Blue light rippled around him, forcibly isolating him from the terrifying true sun fire outside. Even though that blue wave was constantly evaporating, the Seagod trident was also constantly sending it new strength. No matter how great that true sun fire became, it still couldn't reach Tang San in the slightest. However, at this moment, the soil in front of Tang San suddenly split apart. He only felt a void around him, the surrounding soil and rocks disappearing. 1,500 meters underground appeared an enormous cave. Without a doubt, this was formed due to the true sun fire. Even though the cave could only be maintained for a short while, Tang San also saw Chen Rinchu and the angelic raiment instantly arrive in front of him like a pure gold shooting star leaving after images behind. The sacred angelic sword thrust forward, the true sun fire adding to her angelic divine power, making her like a sharp divine sword. There was no other choice. Chen Rinchu was too fast. All Tang San could do was completely rely on instinct, blocking with the Seagod trident in front of him and releasing the gravity control ability on it, making the Seagod trident's weight directly reach 1,080,000 jin, meeting Chen Rinchu's killing move at the same time as it made him sink. Ding! The sacred angelic sword fell from the sky, chopping straight at main point of the Seagod trident. Tang San trembled violently as if shocked by electricity. The next moment, mixed blue and red light exploded like a volcanic eruption. Originally, soil and rocks were constantly falling in the opened up cave, but at this moment, there was an explosion from the energy of the 2 great divine weapons clashing. All the soil and rocks disappeared in the red and blue explosion, without a chance to approach Tang San and Chen Rinchu. The scorching hot sacred angelic sword was less than a chi from Tang San's forehead, and he relied completely on the Seagod trident to hold it back. Tang San once again saw Chen Rinchu close up. Her already red eyes were filled with severe killing intent, and the terrifying true sun fire was constantly devouring Tang San's defensive energy. The two fell the whole way to the bottom of the cave, Tang San's feet stabbing straight into the rock on the floor. The sacred angelic sword pushed down bit by bit. Even Tang San's 180,000 jin heavy Seagod trident actually couldn't hold back her destructive force. He could only watch that scorching hot divine sword constantly close on him. At this moment, Tang San's mind was blank. The energy from ring detonation admittedly helped block Chen Rinchu's destructive power, but that energy was almost exhausted. Along with the incomparably enormous pressure, Tang San clearly felt that his whole body was locked on by Chen Rinchu's God-level power. There was no chance to escape again. In 3 confrontations with Chen Rinchu, 3 great battles, Tang San had always used all his ingenuity and exploited all advantages to resist her. But at this moment, all his trump cards were already exhausted. Facing an enemy covered in divine raiment, even if his spirit power was double, it would be no use. He could only blankly watch that sacred angelic sword constantly pushing closer to his head. Was he going to die? Tang San's entire potential was already erupting, but he still couldn't resist the sacred angelic sword. He clearly understood that, as the ring detonation power he poured into the Seagod trident disappeared, this battle would be truly over. In front of the combined strength of the true sun fire and sacred angelic sword, even his bones might not be left behind. Lord Seagod, I've disappointed you. Xiao Wu, I can't be together with you again. He scarcely imagined that right now Chen Rinchu was equally intensely tormented right now as the sacred angelic sword in her hand pushed down step by step. Watching Tang San die by her hand, to the current her, held not the slightest excitement or pleasure. Feeling the resistance of the Seagod trident weaken, seeing Tang San's eyes fill with despair and unwillingness, the deepest parts of her heart ached violently, uncontrollably. Tang San's elegant figure in her last trials of the angel inheritance, as well as the wild intimate union, constantly appeared in her mind. To the extent that the energy released by the sacred angelic sword weakened slightly, reason told Chen Rinchu that her judgment was correct. After inheriting the god of angels, Tang San had become the greatest weakness in her heart. She had to kill him immediately. Nobody knew her secret, and while the weakness would grow larger, as long as she killed him instantly, nobody could exploit it. However, her emotions told her she couldn't kill this man. If she did, she would definitely regret it through her whole life. Regret so painful it would be worse than death would eternally corrode her heart, never letting her be at peace. Even if she had god-level strength, she would still never feel happiness and pleasure. Only if this man lived could she have hope. Could she avoid that pain? Even though everything that happened with him was in an illusion, he was still her first man. This mental contradiction made the divine power Chen Rinchu released on the sacred angelic sword shaky. Otherwise Tang San should already have been cut down by the sacred angelic sword and annihilated. Only, Chen Rinchu was a rational person. Even though her feelings and reason conflicted, reason still held the advantage. Because she clearly understood that if she didn't kill Tang San, he would definitely become the most terrifying enemy of both her and the entire spirit empire. Chen Rinchu could be practically certain that if he was allowed to reach the god level as well, she might not be his opponent. He was difficult enough to handle now, so wouldn't god level Tang San be synonymous with unrivaled? In the end, Chen Rinchu's expression gradually grew severe, reason forcefully restraining the tint of emotions in her heart. All she had was given by her grandfather. Founding the spirit empire was her grandfather's vision. Even if she had to live in pain, she couldn't disappoint him. Tang San also sensed Chen Rinchu's killing intent. This moment, his eyes opened wide. Right now it was even impossible for him to change spirits to the clear sky hammer. Under the opponent's pressure, he basically didn't have half a chance to regain his strength. Had his death arrived? This time, Tang San's eyes gradually lost the despair and unwillingness, on the contrary feeling a strange calm. Since the result was decided, what use was despair? Calmly watching Chen Rinchu, Tang San's golden blue light slowly disappeared. That glittering golden sword of angels suddenly lost all resistance, cutting straight to Tang San's forehead. It was also at this moment that Tang San pulled back his hand, again stabbing out with the Seagod trident. The previously restrained energy instantly burst forth, the main blade pointing straight at Chen Rinchu's chest. Sensing Tang San's actions, Chen Rinchu immediately thought of the phrase Tang San once used before, better broken jade than intact tile. Finally at this moment, he still had no thoughts of surrendering. Even if he died, he would still bite back at the moment he perished. The Seagod trident's penetrating power might not be equal to Guan Yin's steer, but it was a true divine tool. Wounds it caused wouldn't be so easy to recover from. Only, Chen Rinchu basically didn't worry at all, and Tang San's thrust affirmed the killing intent in her heart even more. Even though the trident was a divine tool, how much strength could Tang San still have left? Wearing the angelic raiment, she basically didn't need to worry about this attack being able to break her armor, and even less about injuring her. However, the moment Tang San was on the verge of being destroyed by Chen Rinchu, a slow leisurely sigh echoed from the depths of his soul. Immediately after, Chen Rinchu felt her whole body tighten, a vast energy wave instantly rolling out, forcibly blowing her away. Not only Chen Rinchu was shocked, even Tang San was staring blankly. Just between him and Chen Rinchu, a 3-meter-tall illusory golden figure hung, and Tang San's Seagod trident was already in its hand. Glittering golden light erupted from the Seagod trident, and it constantly emanated excitement. Clearly, held by this golden shadow, it had once again regained its true strength. Seagod? Chen Rinchu coldly watched this golden shadow. Right now, even though they were underground where there was basically no air, it still couldn't influence god-level powers like her. Even Tang San would be fine without breathing for a while. Due to the energy from her and Tang San's previous attacks, the soil and rocks surrounding the cave had also firmed up, and it was in no danger of collapsing. No, you aren't the Seagod. At most it's a memory the Seagod left in the world. Chen Rinchu gave a cold laugh, slowly pointing the sacred angelic sword forward. The 6 wings behind her spread out, releasing rings of golden light. That golden shadow spoke in a calm and gentle voice. That's right, this is indeed just a phantom I left before leaving. Each god will leave behind a similar divine intent as they leave this world. The divine intent of the god of angels you succeeded only long since disappeared due to being passed through numerous hands. Yet he is the first candidate for succeeding as Seagod since I left. I think I won't be able to find a more accomplished successor than him in the future either. Young lady, although you have become the god of angels, you still can't truly use the god of angels skills. Even more, this is not a place suited to the god of angels. Your stage should be the sky. Chen Rinchu sneered. Then so what? You're just a thought. Do you believe you can stop me from killing Tang San? The Seagod smiled. The Seagod smiled faintly. How about you try it? While speaking, he slowly raised the Seagod trident, gentle golden light instantly spraying out like waves, not to attack Chen Rinchu, but rather spreading out behind him, instantly disappearing into the soil and disappearing. As Seagod, you must always remember to draw on the support of the ocean, anywhere and anytime. The ocean is our true form. It's also the origin of our strength. This was clearly said for Tang San. Tang San had slowed his breathing by now, and in a flash he switched his spirit over to the clear sky hammer. He finally had a trace of strength to defend himself with. Pure golden light sparkled in the air. In practically an instant, Chen Rinchu had turned into 5 figures, light and shadow crisscrossing, from different angles, with different methods, scorching hot true sun fire mixed with angelic divine power and suddenly shot towards the Seagod. Tang San's eyes opened wide. This golden shadow had appeared once before. At that time, when BB Dong almost killed him, it had appeared and saved his life, and at the same time also imparted him with the first 3 moves of the golden 13 halberds. But back then it had told him that he didn't have enough energy, and it had almost been exhausted then. But now he faced a true god. This was just the descent of a trace of the Seagod's divine intent. Could it really block Chen Rinchu's attack? Right now it seemed like he should turn and run, using the Seagod's descent blocking Chen Rinchu to escape to the sea as soon as possible. However, Tang San didn't. His emotions prevailed over reason. He couldn't abandon the descended Seagod like that. Even though this might just be a trace of divine intent, he had still saved him. If he left like this, then even if he could survive, Tang San believed he wouldn't be able to forgive himself, even more when he had already sworn not to let the Seagod trident leave him again. Therefore, he didn't leave, only holding the clear sky hammer and quietly standing behind the Seagod, focusing all his attention on his 3-meter shadow. The Seagod's shadow was golden, but it really was too vague. Its true appearance couldn't be seen. But at the same time as Chen Rinchu attacked, he also moved. The Seagod trident seemed like a part of him, playing in the air like an illusion, one golden ring of light quietly spreading out like parts of his body splitting. Altogether 9 rings of light, just enough to block Chen Rinchu's 9 charging silhouettes. The first time Tang San saw the Seagod use unfixed storm he hadn't known the ability, but this time was different. As he focused his attention and watched fixedly, he discovered a lot of intricacies of the skill, as well as mistakes he had made. Among them, the greatest mistake was that he didn't truly unite with the Seagod trident. Perhaps that might be because he still hadn't become Seagod, but that wasn't the absolute cause. From any point of view, it felt like Chen Rinchu's energy waves were much more powerful than this divine intent come Seagod. However, as her true sun fire struck the unfixed storm, those 9 attacks disappeared into nothing. The 9 figures reunited into one, Chen Rinchu's eyes revealing intense shock. She hadn't felt any resistance, but her attacks were still redirected by the opponent's methods. Even the true sun fire's strength couldn't destroy the enemy. However, after taking Chen Rinchu's attack, the Seagod's shadow grew even more vague, as if it might disappear at any moment. Just as Chen Rinchu prepared to attack once again and thoroughly annihilate him, suddenly, her eyes revealed overwhelming shock. Tang San also sensed it. He raised his head and looked back. What he saw was blue. In this darkness, even using the light Chen Rinchu emanated, he also clearly saw the azure blue of the sea. Yes, the soil and rocks behind Tang San had now completely changed color. Immediately afterward, surging blue light brought incomparably enormous water element and rushed inside. The Seagod trident brightened, turning blue together with the Seagod, the color of the ocean. The great pole arm pointed forward, and that incomparable power of the ocean burst forth, straight for Chen Rinchu. All Chen Rinchu could do was swiftly close up her 6 wings, protecting her within. The next moment, she was washed into the soil by that azure blue energy, and all the surroundings now also turned blue. The Seagod raising the trident to launch energy behind him wasn't wasted. He was summoning the power of the ocean. In Tang San and Chen Rinchu's previous chase, they had already come very close to the ocean, and this descended Seagod just displayed the true power of the Seagod trident, drawing over the boundless energy of the sea. Even a god-level power like Chen Rinchu was directly sent off. Just like the Seagod said, this wasn't a stage that belonged to her. That increasingly vague shadow slowly turned. In a flash of light, within blue light that made Tang San feel incomparably comfortable, the Seagod came before him. Although Tang San couldn't see the Seagod's appearance, only the extremely faint shadow, he could still sense its gratitude and benevolence. I've disappointed you. Tang San lowered his head in shame. No, you've already done very well. Even I wouldn't have thought that the successor I chose would be so outstanding. Actually, even if I didn't pass on my godhood, I believe one day you could definitely break through rank 100. You're more talented than I ever was. This time, I really will leave you. The divine intent left in this world is already exhausted. You can only rely on your own power in the future. Remember, gods that leave this world can never return. The god of angels isn't scary, as long as you inherit my power. That's enough to face her. Only, in order to save you this time, you might face even more difficulties when accepting the inheritance. But I believe you can definitely succeed. Always remember, the ocean is your staunchest support. Goodbye, child. I wish you a smooth inheritance. The Seagod extended a finger, touching the Seagod trident brand on Tang San's forehead. Tang San felt his mind clear, and the next moment, the surging water element turned into the purest energy and poured into him. All his previous exhaustion, including the side effects of ring detonation, actually completely disappeared as that pure energy infused him. The surrounding scenery also grew illusory. Tang San felt his whole body relax, all the pressure obliterated completely. The surroundings had already become a pure blue world. The Seagod's shadow disappeared, the once again black Seagod trident returning to Tang San's hand. However, shocking Tang San was that the Seagod's heart on its main blade had disappeared, exposing the empty cavity when he first saw the Seagod trident. Having lost the Seagod's heart, even though the trident's weight didn't change, Tang San could clearly feel it seemed to have lost its soul, no longer giving that harmonious feeling, like he was holding a common weapon. Tang San finally understood what the Seagod meant when he said his inheritance would become harder. Maybe it was because the Seagod's heart disappeared. In order to save him before, the energy to attack, pull over the power of the ocean and help him completely recover, all came from the Seagod's heart. Holding the Seagod trident close, tears rolled out. You still saved me, but I couldn't save you. My partner, don't worry, no matter the price. I will definitely help restore your soul and return that lost Seagod's heart. Boom, boom, boom. The waves lashed the shore, constantly producing deafening roars. As far as the eye could see, the dark blue ocean was bathed in sunlight, creating a beautiful scenery. Smelling the refreshing air of the ocean, anyone would feel carefree and relaxed. Unfortunately, the 6 people standing on the shore didn't feel any of that. Each of them were full of imposing manner, glittering spirit rings spinning around them. Even the one with the fewest possessed a full 7 glittering spirit rings, and the other 5 uniformly had 8. 1 spirit sage, 5 spirit Douluo. This would absolutely be a formidable force anywhere on the continent. But right now their eyes all revealed intense anxiety. How come he still isn't here? Boss Dai, let me go meet him. Xiao said anxiously. These 6 were no others than the 6 of the Shrek 7 devils beside Tang San. They had already been by the ocean for a while and contacted the devil spirit great white sharks, waiting for Tang San to rush over and meet with them before leaving for Seagod Island. However, not long ago, they had received news of Tang San. The sea god trident's golden light shooting towards the sky had made them nervous, even though they all knew that there should be nobody on the continent that could threaten Tang San's life. The sea god's light was a previously agreed upon signal, letting them pay all attention to their safety. What worried them even more was that after that sea god's light, unprecedented explosions and energy waves suddenly issued. Even though they hadn't been anywhere near it, those violent waves had made the ocean surge. The Shrek 7 devils had never felt energy waves on that level, and they were all instantly shocked, all releasing their spirits, ready to support Tang San at any time. However, after waiting for a long time from that enormous energy wave, the ground only seemed to tremble a few times, but they never sensed Tang San's presence, let alone the figure of him arriving. How could they not be worried? The most anxious was naturally Xiaowu, who proposed going to search for Tang San. That won't do. Xiaowu, don't worry. Daimobai spoke quietly. We agreed to meet Tang San here. We can't just leave. I think little San met some trouble, but we have to believe in his strength. If you go to find him now, just in case you encounter danger or he arrives, wouldn't we have to worry about you instead? Little San's spirit power is already rank 93, plus he has the Seagod trident and twin spirits. Even rank 99 peaked Douluo might not escape unharmed. He should arrive very soon, don't you worry. Ning Rongrong stepped up and held Xiaowu's hand. Xiaowu, boss Dai is right. If we scatter now it will instead cause problems. Going to find him together is better than you going off alone. Xiaowu quietly nodded, but she was still very worried. She'd once sacrificed herself for Tang San, and Tang San had then given his spirit rings to her. Therefore, there was a kind of special bond between her and Tang San. Even though Dai Mubai, Ning Rongrong and the others were making sense, under ordinary circumstances Tang San shouldn't have met any danger he couldn't escape. Xiaowu still felt this time was different. That feeling of fear and trepidation made her extremely jittery and filled with concern. Waiting was a kind of torture to anyone. A quarter of an hour passed very quickly, and Xiaowu couldn't help it any longer. No good, I'm going to find him. Speaking, she turned in the direction the sea god's light was seen before. Zhu's looking quickly held back Xiaowu. Xiaowu, don't be rash. Let's go together. Xiaowu's eyes were already rimmed with red, tears rolling around. Then let's hurry. It's different this time. Really, this is different from before. I can feel it. GE's in danger. We have to save him quickly. Daimobai also didn't hesitate further. Let's go. We'll save little San. Hang on. Look. Just at this moment, Oscar suddenly shouted, and everyone looked in the direction of his voice, only to see the previously raging sea suddenly calm, all waves seeming to suddenly quiet down and the sea turning smooth as a mirror, like a giant lake. And under their gazes, about 500 meters out, a giant whirlpool formed, surging energy waves dyeing the entire surface of the sea blue. That's... Everyone looked shocked at the change in the sea. Xiaowu now jumped out. That's his energy. It's the sea god's energy. At the same moment as Xiaowu leapt into the sea like a mermaid, with a soft splash, a figure shot out of the center of the whirlpool, directly into the sky. Wasn't that Tang San? Only now he cut a sorry figure, completely naked, on both sides of his back still exposing the shattered remains of the 8 spider lances. The sea god trident even more lifeless and dull. Little San, why'd you come from the sea? Daimobai saw Tang San return, and even though he looked like he'd met a powerful enemy, he heaved a sigh of relief that the brothers were all gathered together. Tang San descended from the sky, landing straight in front of Xiaowu in the sea, speaking in a low voice as he caught her in his arms. There's no time to explain. Quickly, follow me to sea. While speaking, the sea god trident brand on his forehead flashed with blue light, and the vast sea barrier released, enveloping the 6. Spirit power burst forth, pulling the 6 out to sea. Even though nobody knew what had happened, they hadn't seen Tang San with such a serious expression for a very long time, and nobody asked questions, quickly following Tang San into the ocean. Just as they entered the sea, Tang San saw a friend quickly approaching the shore. Devil Spirit Great White Shark King Xiaobai's kinsman. Altogether 7 especially robust Devil Spirit Great White Sharks were quickly heading towards them. Clearly, they had also felt the waves of the sea god's power. Seeing them, Tang San couldn't help being overjoyed, quickly controlling the vast sea barrier to reveal them. He summoned the Devil Spirit Great White Sharks and passed down orders to them with his mental power. The Devil Spirit Great White Shark clan was one of the tyrants of the sea, extremely intelligent, and the ones Xiaobai sent all had cultivation over 30,000 years. Immediately understanding Tang San's idea, the 7 Devil Spirit Great White Sharks simultaneously moved beneath the vast sea barrier, and under Tang San's control, the vast sea barrier fused with them. They accelerated at the same time, immediately moving deeper into the ocean. Tang San discovered that the energy the sea god infused into him not only let him recover his strength, but at the same time also strengthened his control over the sea god's light as well as the abilities related to the sea god. If it was previously, he absolutely wouldn't be able to bring his 6 comrades and control the vast sea barrier so cleverly. But no matter what, now they were finally safe. Using the vast sea barrier on land and in the ocean were 2 completely different concepts. In the ocean, the sea god ability could completely fuse with the entire sea, drawing on the power of the sea to hide them. Back when Tang San still couldn't completely show its effect, Tang San could still rely on the vast sea barrier to have the Shrek 7 devils reach the sea god island. With his strength now geometrically increased, once the sea god's successor entered the sea, even Chen Rinchu could do nothing. Less than a quarter hour after Tang San's group entered the ocean, a golden figure descended from the sky, landing on the shore, completely covered in sacred angelic armor. Chen Rinchu's expression was extremely unsightly. The sea god's attack couldn't truly harm her, just like she said. That was after all just the sea god's divine intent, and not the true sea god's strength. But even though that strength couldn't harm her, it still pushed her almost 10 kilometers away. At the same time, the divine intent she placed on Tang San was also forcefully broken. With great difficulty she had caught Tang San's presence again, but now it had already disappeared completely.